Virat Kohli drops bombshell ahead of Dharamsala Test vs Australia. Virat Kohli, who is in doubt to play the Dharamsala Test against Australia due to a dodgy shoulder, has said he will play the deciding Test match only if he is 100% fit. Virat Kohli with team physiotherapist Patrick Farhart during a practice session at HPCA Stadium in Dharamsala ahead of the fourth and deciding Test against Australia. PTI. Virat Kohli's dodgy shoulder has dominated the build-up to the deciding Test against Australia in Dharamsala. The Indian skipper stated that he will play the game only if he is 100% fit. Speaking in the press conference, Kohli said, "I am no different from anyone. No special treatment for me and the same rule applies for anyone. Me being 100% fit is the only condition that I will play tomorrow." Read, Virat Kohli keeps India in suspense, Shreyas Iyer called up for Dharamsala Test. In the Friday Neds session, Kohli was seen clutching his right shoulder when the Indian team started the warm-up session. He managed to play 20 minutes of foot volley with the team. As the session progressed, Kohli walked to the practice area and started his batting net session. After 5 minutes of light throwdowns, the Indian skipper batted for 20 minutes and looked in no visible discomfort. However, Kohli said the injury to his shoulder was not caused due to lack of fitness. An impact injury is an impact injury. One needs to give a bit more time before I can make the call with the physio. I have to look at the full match scenario when I take the decision, Kohli said. The Indian skipper added, "The injury has an element of being aggravated in the field. While batting, there is no discomfort. I have taken medication after the last game and that is why I have to take a bit of time before I take the decision to play." Shreyas Iyer has been called in as cover for Kohli in case the Indian skipper cannot play the Dharamsala Test. Kohli had hurt his right shoulder in the Ranchi Test when he looked to stop a boundary at wide long on. He dived but he landed heavily on his right shoulder which forced him to be off the field for a long period of time. Amidst speculation that Kohli might miss the entire Test, he came out to bat but he fell for 6 as the Test ended in a draw. Mitchell Johnson has continued his tirade against Virat Kohli and Team India as he, ahead of the fourth India-Australia Dharamsala Test, claimed that Kohli has lost his focus. "It's one of those things we used to say as opposition players, you'd love to have him, Kohli, in your side because he has that passion and drive and he's a gun player, everyone knows that. But I reckon he has taken it a little bit too far and he's lost a bit of his focus," Johnson was quoted as saying by the Daily Telegraph. The said Australian daily had earlier compared Kohli with US President Donald Trump. "I know I went through being over-aggressive sometimes and got caught up with that emotion and wasn't thinking about what I was doing out there. You can get Virat fired up, we've seen that, and it looks like he's let his emotions take over. He might have fallen into that trap and I hope he does again in the last Test as well. When the scoreline is 1-1, you want to see the best players do well. But if Australia bowl well and get on his nerves a bit, it will be perfect for us," added the former Australian pacer. Johnson, while taking a dig at Kohli, had said that the Indian skipper is frustrated. "He's obviously quite passionate, but I just think he's frustrated because he hasn't scored a run and he's letting his emotions get the better of him. You could sense the vibe change halfway through the match and it coincided with India getting ahead in the game," Johnson had said.